Okay, so at this point, I am going to assume that I have fixed my supply issues for copper and iron because they're both appearing here and are provided again and not appearing over requested. So we are supplying things as quickly as they're needed. So my next steps are to tidy up the rails a bit and then rework all of the signaling that is incorrect. So the signaling it's going to be fairly simple. Let's start off by just tidying up the loose ends here. I can probably just put down a single radar here and see the whole thing. How about that? Okay, so this whole section here is all a leftover from how I laid out my station, my smelters. So I think I can just grab the whole vertical column here and drop it down in place. I think it just works. Okay, so the intersections I had in the middle are just not quite right. I am going to need to temporarily quench these guys. This will interrupt our traffic. I'm going to grab all the way out to the next power pole. And I was able to click that into place without a shift click, so everything went down. And that gets us back to normal here. And that's a normal that is not quite right. So let's find a nice place to work out the proper way to signal these. Now, the first step is in this whole area here. What I want is for this to be signaled so that any train that has exited the intersection is actually exited the whole intersection. So, easy way to do that is to start by saying, let's put down our I have exited the intersection signals. There and there. And these guys are left-hand drive top and bottom. Then we put down the I am entering the intersection here, and here, and here, and here. And everything in the middle needs to be there we go. Everything in the middle there needs to be a chain signal, because none of these blocks are going to be anywhere near big enough. So that is our no correct signaling. Now, the downside is that when I leave this guy headed left or right, that is 2, 3 for the engines. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is one train car short of being able to carry my whole thing. Now, what if I'm not sure I want to do this or not. If these are like this, one, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is a full train area. So if I signal like that, I can say that this is stopping here. But for the top, I don't believe I have space to bring this all the way across and do the same thing up above. Let's see how it works on the other side. So that would be signaling this way. Okay. So now we want to go out to here and have this be signaled exactly the same. So we do the same, carve that off. We place this down twice. So what do we have here? To the left, that is long enough for one train. Barely. This is not. Which means that when I leave this intersection, I can get out onto this line, which is what we need. And the next one is not quite long enough, which is actually not a serious problem. It means that we aren't actually going to clear through here. So we have a block that we can get a train into, and yeah. So I think this is good. I think this signaling will work for us. Let's make a final. I'm going to do a signal. I will be killing off the. I will not be including the lamps in this particular blueprint. So we should be going out to the power and not beyond it. I'm going to exclude the lamps. So what we have here is we have the rails, we have all of the signals, and we have the power. And this is what we want to snap down on all of our intersections. Let's toss that in game blueprints here down at the bottom. This is main crossing V2. And what do we want to do here? I don't want a 2 at the end. Say V2. So rail. Do we have a plus? Do we have a plus? We don't have a plus. Yes, we do. So rail plus sign V2. Okay. We want to snap to a relative grid. 180 by 180. So now the question is, does this place on top of our existing I'm not sure whether that is placing correctly or not. Let's go out here to one of the intersections we know is an old one. So if this tells us we can't place because of some signal, yeah, there are rail signal conflicts. So I believe all those conflicts are ones that are being placed down as yes, they're being placed down as chain signals on top of normal, so we could do an upgrade. So let's do an experiment here. If I place down a radar here, what I'm going to do is Oh, these guys in the middle here are still normal. So I can't actually do an upgrade sweeping across all of this without catching these guys in the middle. Well, we can do 2 upgrades. One to change them all to chain signals, and one to change the chain signals back to rail signals. There we go. So if I grab this and I take all of, let's mark the lower right with where I'm standing. I'm just going to do the whole batch from here all the way up to there. So you guys are all chain signals. Boom. And apparently these are not instant stuff. So what I'm going to do instead is kill off all the signals. And I am just going to place it down again. I will work out later how to place the mid signals down again. So we're going to go boom from here all the way up through here. The trains are not going to like that at all. Now I can go in with this and start here. There we go. There's our new signals. Now we do need to get the midpoint signals in as well. Let's see. Put these down. So the easiest way is just to make another square. Boom, boom, and like that. So now we grab from here down through here. This is grid square. I think this is up to V3 by now. Snap to grid. 80, 180, relative. Okay, that's got the start. Okay, so there's our square that puts down all of the proper signaling. So I think in this case, what I really want is for this to also be placeable in other places. So let's do a slightly different square. I'm going to grab from that power pole down through that power pole. Resignal V3. So this may add a few extra things as I place it down. If I have, for instance, if there's nothing off to the left up here, we'll have this extra little curlicue. Those are not going to be a problem. Place that in game blueprints. And this will resignal any squares. It won't resignal interiors. So this guy, let's set him to a snap to grid of 360 x 360. So I can figure out where to put him and then just roll him around. Let's see if I put it here. I'm not even sure where these are going. But it is definitely lighting everything up, which is good. Okay, so there's our entire base lit up. Any rocks left? Yeah, a little bit. I could really use some more coverage in here. There. So the trick is going to be to get the resignaling in with this guy right here. In fact, let's put that on number 1 right there. Get him in without disrupting anything else. You know what? For this line down here, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go in and bulk resignal everything. What I will do instead is I will resignal things as they become a problem. So we can now get rid of the radars. And what's our next pain spot? Well, we have iron and copper flowing in. We have plenty of stuff in transit. We have nothing requested that we couldn't fulfill. We have stocks of things. I think at this point we are fairly healthy. So the next thing I want to do is start work on the Yeah, the petroleum. I've been putting off petroleum for a long time. It's time to do it. So let me go grab some. Oh, actually, did I put the blueprints in here? I did. There's the depot for the 3/8 fluid. So we're going to make a copy of this. And I have a whole petroleum area that I worked out. And instead of recreating it, I'm just going to make a copy of it. Now we need to find those. So petroleum area and depot. And these are all junk. We do need that. We need that frequently. So the only way to get rid of an empty blueprint sheet is to literally pick something up in it as a blueprint and destroy it. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so oil. Obviously, our crude oil is going to be up here. We have that entire area that we built for crude oil, which is going to be here. I'm not sure I want to use that. I think I will drop it in place to get the actual crude oil into trains, but I'm not really sure that that's where I want. I'm not sure I want my processing starting here. So if I do that, if I wanted to make the oil processing do the normal thing where each stage runs until it's full and then the next stage runs, that means that my oil processing is going to head down across here, and we're not going to have access coming in to these guys. So I am thinking that I may want to drag my oil processing to the right, and I'm going to go think about that and start that in a whole new recording later. So we'll be back.